Hello, people, on a solstice Sunday. Oh, it's all right. I'm struggling with sore legs. I just walked about 6 miles and in the sun and the blaze. Well, wasn't blazing sun all the way, but very humid and hot, and legs are absolutely killing me. I'm a little bit out of fitness, so that's my fault. Anyway, on this solstice day, yeah. So yeah, Mark's been asking about the more about the groups and the trying to be famous routine. Um, yeah, I'm gonna jump into the London. So this could be part. Is it part 5 or part 6 now? So anyway, this will be uh, London. The the London experience. Ah dear, we never got to play the Palladium. Oh dear. Anyway, yeah, this is a going to be a love hate tale, really. Um, I love to hate it. A lot. Don't get me wrong. Being in London as a young man in your mid 20s wasn't a bad thing. I'd say it's quite exciting in some areas. Plenty to do, lots to do on the underground, plenty of places to go and see. But fundamentally, if you've got five lads who've moved away from the hometown, thinking they're going to make a splash and make the big league by just moving, you know, uh, thinking that geography has got anything to do with success. Well, I think we were a bit naive, but I won't mention this band's name because, for one, it's a long time ago, and there's a lot of sour grapes within this band. So I'll just say that when the Le Griff thing finally fizzled out, I was at a loose end. Knew of this other group that shall be nameless, and uh, went down, got chatting to them, and two of their members were about to leave. Seems a such familiar sort of story. That says somebody's leaving, and so somebody can go it, or two of them are leaving, and then they want two more people. So I was one of the new people. Um, you know, um, I suppose. I suppose at the time it seemed like the next best thing for me. Um, I should have been a bit more analytical about my approach to this band, but I won't go into all of the politics of the band. Only to say that with my effort as well, my constant effort about um, moving from Stoke to go and make it in London and get a record company, I talked myself into it, and so I actually was the first one to go down about 2 weeks before the rest of the group turned up. This is quite an interesting one because I for the first 2 weeks I lived with in the manager's house. I use that term very loosely as well. Manager, would be manager's house. It was a Jewish lad named Barry Paskin, and he lived in let me get this right, Bushy in Hertfordshire. So he invited me down. I had to meet his family and had to wear the little skull cap on when we had lunch together, and because I was living in their house for nearly 2 weeks, so I got to see a little bit of Jewish life, um, which was interesting. I'm always interested in people and what they do and their behaviours. Um, he'd got a swimming pool, and his dad was wealthy. It's pretty much the going thing that most Jews are, outwardly wealthy, shall we say. which doesn't mean he was wealthy, though. No, he was the son of the wealthy man, and he wasn't wealthy. But we won't get to that point just yet. So yeah, we signed this little bit of a contract with this lad named Barry. The rest of the group want to move down, and 3 days before these lads are going to be turning up at a bus stop in the middle of London, he still hadn't got a premises for us to live in. So I'm still at his house, which is a big house in Bushy, about 7 rooms and stuff like that. And his dad certainly wasn't going to have five young men landing on his doorstep. So he'd got 3 more days to find it, somewhere to live. Anyway, because he knew contacts in North London, which is right where Golders Green is, it's a hive of Jewish activity. From one of his contacts, somebody said, "Why don't you go up to nip into Edgware? There's a couple of shops up there. Go and see Mr. Posner, and he's got a shop with a. He's just painted the flat above, and it's fairly cheap." He said. This was in the 80s, and it wasn't cheap really, not to us, but London prices, it was fairly cheap. So with about 48 hours to go, he agrees and signs a lease document for this flat above a shop in Edgware. And for all those that don't know where Edgware is, if you look on the tube map on the underground, the black line, it's called the Northern Line. It comes in obviously from the north, right the way through London and goes south as well. That line, yeah, the last stop right at the very top of the map is Edgware. You can't go any further on the tube. So anyway, so it's sort of mid 1985. 5 lads turn up with a few bits of gear that we've got, a couple of suitcases, and dirty old jeans and they're all the guitars and the drums and stuff, and we end up in this flat in Edgware. Not exactly paradise. And obviously we've never lived with each other before. We're in a group, but we're not living with each other. Well, as you can well imagine, that is another dynamic. And also, 3 of us left fairly good jobs in Stoke. The other 2 weren't really working much, but so there was 5 of us really, basically on the social. So we signed on the doles just to try and get some money in, because obviously we've got to keep paying this rent and live. And so there was, a need to make money immediately, which I don't think anybody really, they didn't consider, nor did I, to be honest. I think we were all, stars in your eyes type of thing. Anyway, the singer then wants to bring his girlfriend in, and I said, that's not going to be a very good idea. There's going to be like five lads and your girlfriend here in this one flat. It's only like 3 rooms, 3 bedrooms in the flat. There's 5 of us now, and so 2 of us are sharing, 2 of us are sharing. One's got, and anyway, they want to accommodate him because he's the singer, and they want to appease him, which I wasn't very happy about. But at the end of the day, democracy, as you well know, and I was quietly told, well, he's got to have his girlfriend down. She wants to live with him. So now we've got this lady with us. Anyway, the days are going very, very slowly because nobody's working. And also, there's no rehearsal place even close to. There's no rehearsal place for the gear. We haven't played a note, on the guitar, or he hasn't sang a song for months, and we're still doing nothing. We've got no gigs in London, and it's a bitter pill to swallow, but the writing's on the wall almost, like 2 months in. you're 8 weeks into this new life, and yes, there's plenty of stuff going on outside the door, but you definitely need money in London to survive, and we ain't got any. And so, um, after living on like sort of soup, soup and bread for like 4 months or more, making it go as far as we can, we start to realise that we should all be working. So I ended up getting a job with a lad that I knew from in the north. He'd lived in the south of London. He owned a small scaffolding company. So I did some driving for him in the day. And he was named Andy, and he paid me cash. So I had some cash coming in. Now I also then had the ability then that I didn't want to live with all the group because of those tensions and sharing a bathroom. And so across the road, another shop, I spoke to one of the other people, and they said the man had a room in his house. Again, a Jewish man, but very nice man. Back then, it was quite easy, just word of mouth. Go there, tell him, he say how much it is a week. I think it was something like, I think he wanted, back then, I don't know, I think he wanted about, I don't know, 80 pounds a week or something, which is quite doable because I was actually working then. And so I went across there. Subsequently, we start going down into London. It takes ages on the tube. I spent more time on the tube than I did, in the atmosphere here up where the sky is. We seem to spend all our time on a tube. Middle of London at 3 o'clock in the morning seems exciting, but when you've got to get back and you know you're basically getting up to or you're waking up to another day of what shall we do and where's the group going, soon becomes uh, irritating, to say the least. But the cherry on the cake was we did a gig, and I had a real big fallout with this singer, and it did come to blows. I'm not a violent person, but on this particular day, he really did get up my nose, literally. So uh, he didn't do the gig. The rest of the lads knew most of the lyrics, and we did the gig as a 4 piece, and he nipped back to his Edgware flat um, with his tail between his legs, and then he said that he's going to leave because he can't work with me. So in a way, they were blaming me for the group splitting up, but they were going to find another singer, and I just thought, whether you find another singer or not, it's not the singer or anything to do. It's actually where we've come to do this. This is where the ultimate stumbling block is. Completely great big city like London, and you're trying to edge your way into places where even getting gigs was difficult, and they wouldn't pay you anything. They'd want you to say pay on the door and bring in your crowd of people, and it was difficult to say the least. So anyway, he buggers off back Stoke, and I stayed down there because I was working for Andy. And I gave it another 6 months actually, just working, and I might, well, what I'll do is I'm going, because this is 14 minutes now, so I'm going to finish it here. But I stayed down there and I actually did audition, right, for Queen's drummer Roger Taylor. But I'm going to leave the tail of the audition and what happened there for the next video. So I'm going to say adios on this one, and part, what is it, 7 or something. I'll do the Queen audition part 7 and Free Lucy, free Palestine. Okay, people, see you soon. Oh yeah, and happy solstice.